Hey guys, how are you? It's Sue from Smarting Coaching. Wow, I'm getting some really awesome messages through and I'm getting them confirmed by a lot of other people that I follow. So I just wanted to jump on and make this little video for you to help you if you're getting something similar. Maybe it might confirm for you what you're feeling. Maybe it might just prompt you into consciously seeing what's happening for you. You may find it beneficial. So I hope so. So intuition is really important, and being able to feel for yourself and being able to know for yourself and knowing what's true for you and what's not true for you is really important. And that's not something that you can get from somebody else, and that's not something that you can, I suppose, learn from somebody else. It's something that you learn from yourself. And for me, following my intuition, I've always had it here and there and everywhere. A couple of times in my life there have been really loud things that have happened that made me really stop and have a look and know that I was coming to a pivot point in my life where I could choose A or B, and they were completely different paths from each other. And those I didn't ever talk about to people, because not that I thought that I was crazy, but I was like, wow, what is happening? But they've stuck in my mind. But recently, in the last, say, 5 or 6 years, getting to trust my intuition again started with small things, and it started with little hints and feelings, and oh wow, the traffic gets crazy every time I sit on here to do this. So it's been a learning experience. But one thing that trusting my intuition has taught me is that you cannot always see the whole plan. And it's also taught me that all the times I thought I could see the whole plan, I really couldn't. It made me feel comfortable to think that I could. And that gave me the courage to step out. But in actual fact, none of the plans went well, because the running joke in my family was, oh, well, we've done plan A and plan B, let's try plan C. We've got 26 letters in the alphabet, right? So, and if we get to plan Z, well, we just start again. We never really have total control. We never really can see all the steps before we start. So the thing that my intuition, like I said, has taught me is to trust the baby steps. And I think that's becoming really, really big now. And we're coming out of the old way of we follow along this plan, and that's the life that you live, and you go to school, and then you go to college, and then you get the job, and then you meet a girl, and then you get married, and then you have kids, and then you work for however many years in the same job, and then you retire, and then all of that sort of plan to me. And I know people who followed that. I was born in 1970. I know there were plenty of people in that time that were older than me that followed along that plan. And it was nothing for somebody to work in one job for their whole life. And that's not a thing anymore. And the people of that generation can look at that as being really, really bad because there isn't security. But what there is freedom now, and freedom to choose, which is where this intuition is going to come in big for you, because you're not going to be able to see the whole plan or plan out the whole thing. So it makes me think of when you plan a wedding. You can plan the seating, pick the dress, check the hair, do all the things, have the flowers, the whole thing, the trial, the this, the that, the something else. You can get to the wedding day and 700 things can go wrong. And at the end of the day, you got married, the wedding went well, it's a big sigh of relief, and it was beautiful, but none of what you had planned necessarily went. I don't know anyone who's planned a big event like that and everything's gone great. You've got to be able to make changes and adapt on the fly. Same with the birth plan. Plenty of people who have gone through their birth plan and they know exactly what's going to happen. And then from the get-go, things didn't go to plan. And some people freak out at that because they think it's something you can plan. But in reality, there's nothing you can plan, because there are so many variables to every step in life. And we don't factor them in. We don't factor in the fact that we're going for this life that we think is brilliant, and we get 3 steps in and it's like, I don't really like that career, and I don't like that work environment, and I don't want to get married yet, and I want to, and then all of a sudden you're not in the plan, and so you fight yourself about following the plan versus what you really want to do, what your intuition is telling you to consider, what your gut feeling is telling you, all the freedom of having choices. It's not there. So that is all coming to me, and I'm seeing it being reflected in so many readers, coaches, prophetic people across all walks. And I listen to a lot of different stuff and a lot of different people, from Christianity right through to, I don't even know, conspiratorial, I don't know. Right, I listen to the whole, it's a bit like my list of songs on my playlist, on my liked playlist. If you looked at that, you'd probably think I was a psycho. So I listen to a whole lot of things because I've learnt now to listen to everything, to have a look at everything, park something here for a little bit, whatever it is. Listen to my intuition about it. That thing might not be for me now, but I may come back and revisit in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 10 years, and it is for me now because I've changed tack or I've whatever. So try not to get too far off the topic here, but your intuition will lead you to all the places that you want to go. And in actual fact, it will probably tell you 9 times out of 10 to stand still and then wait until you get a prompting to move to the next step, rather than racing through and trying to get to whatever it is that you're trying to get to. And so what I saw today when I was thinking about this topic, you know how you have security lights or lights in your house, and I guess they go under security lights, night lights, that light up as you step into the vicinity of that they cover. So they'll cover this, and so you'll step in and it will come on, and then as you step out, the next one comes on and that one goes off, and you can see forward how you're going. That's the vision that I got today about how we're going to operate in the world moving forward. In this freer energy, and I don't know, what are we stepping into? Is it the age of Aquarius? I don't know what we're stepping into, but it's definitely stepping out of a fixed mentality, a fixed way, a fixed plan of this is how life goes, into a more free plan, because there are jobs now that you can do anywhere in the world. There are the internet. There are, like I coach people and I have read tarot for people in different countries. What is that? We can connect in so many different ways now that there are so many new jobs and things coming out there that you don't have to lock into a town or a company or anything anymore. But if you've still got that fixed mentality of following the plan and having to see the 10 steps ahead of you before you'll step, and then rigidly sticking to those, even though when you get to step 3, there's 500 more options that you didn't know about when you first stepped at step 1. But now you can't take any of those because you've locked into this thing that you've told everybody in your family about and all your friends about. You've told them you're going to do that. What happens when you get to step 3 and tell them, hey, I'm going off over here? What are they going to say? And that holds a lot of people back, right? And then when people do say things, that also holds a lot of people back, speaking from experience. We need to adapt now. We need to be more adaptive, more free. The freedom that we seek is in the decisions that we are choosing not to make because we're sticking to the 10-step plan that we thought of. But once you get 3 steps or 4 steps into the plan and live more life, suddenly that opens up for you and you can see a whole lot more options that you couldn't see at step 1 or 2. You didn't know they existed, or you didn't think they were there for you, or now that you've got experience or training or whatever it is, that has opened up more doors for you that you can now choose from. And so many people will not choose from the extra doors. They'll put blinders on so that they can't see the extra doors. Or they might tap the first door and that's not exactly what they wanted, and then they'll shrink back and go back to the plan because that's safer than tapping on a door that isn't for you or is a disaster, or however you want to look at it. Does that make sense? So if you can really tune into your intuition, that's going to save you a lot of stress. It's going to help you to sit in the uncomfortable, to sit in the unknown, to stand at the end of where that light shines and then step out so that the new light will come on. And so I want to encourage you today to do that. And I want to encourage you to still yourself so that you can listen to your intuition, because your intuition is not going to tell you the same thing as somebody else's. So if you're always looking to other people, if you're in a group think place where you always go to 5 different people to find out what you should do, or tell 6 or 7 different people what's happening in your life and get their opinion, and then that goes against your opinion, but 3 of the 5 people said this, so that I must be wrong and that must be right. No, not necessarily so. Listen to yourself. Yes, have trusted people and whatever, but at the end of the day, you're the one who makes the decisions. And so it's up to you. So getting in touch with your intuition can be scary at the beginning, but if you start little and listen to it and know, Eventually you're going to be able to trust it enough to do the things that I've done, moving across the country. Having a conversation with somebody about something that I thought was impossible. Considering that things can happen. Trusting that they do. Doing things before that manifests in your life, but getting yourself set, ready to go, so that you're living ready to go for the thing that you really, really want, and feeling yourself is coming. It's all of those things, guys. But we turn it off because our intuition says, oh, I don't know about that relationship. I don't know about that job. Something's wrong. And we think, no, we don't trust it, and we go and step in, and then we get through to the other end of it, and then we're like, it all goes to shit. And we're like, I knew from the beginning this was not right. But we didn't listen. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. You've got to really listen to your intuition, your higher self, God, high consciousness, whatever you call it, that still small voice that isn't rushy, it's not loud, it's not going to scream at you. If it's screaming at you and pushing you, it's not your intuition. So just take a couple of deep breaths and just settle down and tune in again. All right, I hope that this was helpful. I hope the message got across that I was trying to get across. I see so many things that I wish I could give you the words to the visuals that I see and how I see things when stuff comes in for me. But I feel that this message is important, and the fact that I'm seeing it from so many other people now as well, it just makes me realise that if we all shared some of those dumb, crazy, out there things that we feel, think, see with other people, a lot of us might settle a little bit more and think we aren't weird. We're just getting our things from our intuition, from our higher self, from God, from, like I said, whatever it is. And we are quite often all receiving the same message, but just in a different way, because everybody's different. Okay, hope this was helpful. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button. Please feel free to share it with somebody who you think may benefit from the information that I've shared. And I really thank you for your time and hope to see you in the next video. Take care.